West Ham return to European action tomorrow night, all the way over in Serbia, a very cold Serbia, I may add, as well, as we take on TSC Baka Topola, a side that last time out against them, we beat 3-1 at the London Stadium. After a goalless first half, our form was reignited after a opening goal from Baka Topola's Stanic, with late goals from Kudus and a Kudus brace and a goal from Souček to wrap things up in a 3-1 victory. West Ham currently find themselves top of the Europa League group, but only on a head-to-head record, with Freiburg waiting in the wings behind us, which is hopefully going to set up a final game week winner-takes-all match at the London Stadium between Freiburg and West Ham for the top spot in our Europa League group. I hope you are all well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. This is the match preview for TSC versus West Ham. And Phil is joining me to discuss it. Phil, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Feeling a little bit better after our late comeback against Burnley on the weekend. In the last couple of Premier League games, we've come back at the death to win it, and yeah, a little bit concerning in one sense, but do love a good last minute winner, Phil.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, it's very easy for us, a lot of West Ham fans, to moan about the way we play and then how we win games a lot. But we've got 2 wins out of 2. We're still top half of the table, still in Europe. It's not the end of the world, as they say.
It's not. It is not. Sharky, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I love that profile picture. You've changed it, mate. That's very nice. That is very nice. See, I am observant. I know you've changed it. Terry, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Terry, your Christmas present arrived today. Yeah, I know. Peter, good evening. Jake, Phil, which I know there's in the chat. I hope you are well. About 30 seconds before we came on air, Phil, I said, did we beat these lot last time? And you recalled that we did beat them 3-1, and you were there at the London Stadium. From what you can remember from this side, what do you think we should expect over in Serbia tomorrow?
I'm expecting them from my memory. It's a bit hard now. It feels like ages ago when we played them, but long time ago. But it's hard to say because I honestly can't remember. But I think they're a small team. If you was to compare them to an English team, you'd probably be thinking League Two, maybe National League standard. No disrespect to them, but that's just who you've got to compare them to. Yeah. So they're going to be like the underdogs. They're going to try and give it a go, but when it comes to quality, we've obviously got the upper hand on them. So we just got to make sure we don't give them too much respect and just go out there and do a professional performance at the best of our abilities.
100%. Yeah, look, we've got 2 games this week where we should be looking to win both of them. If we're honest, if we want to be successful this season, we should be beating these lot away, and we should be beating Palace at home on Sunday. Of course, we've got the element of Thursday, Sunday, and away from home European football Thursday, Sunday to encounter when we come up against Palace on the weekend. But we'll deal with that in the coming days. But just on this game, I'd expect some changes, Phil, if I'm honest. We'll talk about team news and all the rest of it in a minute. But if David Moyes had a full squad to choose from, I'd be expecting some changes anyway in this game, because in an incredibly sort of congested December period, this is one of the very few games in this period where we've got to be looking at to rotate, and we can afford to rotate. And that's not me being naive. It's just being realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say we're going to go through to the knockout stages here, but we want to finish on top of the group. So I still feel like, I know a lot of our players have got their critics, but you need to, I suppose, rotate your team purely for this game alone, because we know they're the lesser team, the more easier team, to beat. So it's important to save or conserve your best players for the big, busy period, as you say. Crystal Palace is going to be a big game as well coming up. So it'd be good to get some decent players like Fornals, Benrahma, maybe even Cornet to have a start, just so they've got more minutes, more game time. and if they need to be called upon against Palace or whoever else we got over the coming weeks, they're there, they're fit. So, yeah, and obviously there'll be a certain young striker as well we'd like to see start this game as well.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We're going to run through the West Ham All You Need to Know page in just a second. But before we do, let's take some more of your comments. Norman Castle, come on, you Irons must win, that is for sure. Sharky's got the man flu. Unfortunate. I hope you get better soon, mate. Being honest, I'd rather win against Palace on the weekend. Yeah, so would I, but I'll be livid if we don't win this game, to be honest with you, because it's a game we simply should be winning. And if we don't win this game, then our chance of having to play a round of 32 playoff against a Champions League degenerate is very likely. So yeah, that's not what we want. You know, if we can avoid that at all costs, that would be ideal. Peter says, I have a horrible feeling Bowen's injury is worse than they first thought. We have a history of this with other injuries, saying they will be back soon. Yeah, it's got that West Hamitis about it, hasn't it? Really, a little bit. But we're expecting him back for Sunday, and hopefully he will be there. I could see Mubame getting a hat-trick in Serbia. As long as he scores a goal that isn't then deemed after as an own goal, I think he'd be chuffed. I think he would be chuffed.
I agree on that.
James, evening all. What's all this then? What is that emoji? My eyes aren't very good. Is that a police emoji? Don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a copper, yeah.
Yeah. Beer is cheap in Topola, so I've been told. Yeah, a couple of people have put on Twitter about £2 or £3 for a beer over in Baca Topola. Yeah, the 320 tickets we've got. Somebody put a picture on of the away end yesterday. We thought Bournemouth was bad. This is even worse. It is really quite funny. Oh, it is amusing. I'll try and multitask and find the picture, but yeah, somebody put it on, and I thought that is brilliant. It's literally safe standing, and it goes just through 2 rows. It was just, yeah. But to be fair, they brought about 30 to our place, didn't they? So maybe that's 30, the sort of crowds they get over there. But yeah. Team news, Jared Bowen hasn't travelled, and we have another couple who have some illness and haven't travelled, but I'm not prepared to say who they are. But we have been confirmed by other sources that Mohamed Kudus has not made the trip over to Serbia due to illness. How bad that is will be determined whether he's involved in Sunday's game against Crystal Palace. But that's not a positive sign. But if it's just a precaution, Phil, and he's going to be fully fit and ready to go for Palace, I think it's a wise move because it's a lot of travelling for probably no reason for the big players who hopefully aren't going to be needed.
Yeah, it's always best if it's just a precaution, then good, get him fit. Have a rest if it's an illness. Drink some Lemsip and be ready for Crystal Palace. Yeah. You know, it's going to be it's a few hours flight over to Serbia, and it's very cold, so it's not going to make matters any better, is it?
No, for sure, for sure. So yeah, if we can rest and not travel as many as possible and still get the win, I think that's just a huge positive. Spurs away next Thursday. Is it next Thursday? Yes, it is. The 7th of December. It's always tasty, isn't it? Especially with their injuries, you never know what's going to happen there. See TSC beat leaders in their League 4 at the weekend. That's a good sign, isn't it? That's a really good sign. Ten Hag is questioning why he bought Onana. What a game! What a couple of comedy of errors as well. Onana, yeah, definitely. Letting Orient have a bigger stadium. Yeah. Something like that. Let's have a look at some of the interesting news West Ham have posted on their website, because there isn't a hell of a lot more to talk about this game. There's an interesting development in terms of what's going to be on the front of the shirts. Phil, have you seen this? I doubt.
No, I haven't. No.
I doubt you have. So we've got a new sponsor for this game. It's not going to be Betway due to UEFA's legislation away from home in Europe. If I change the screen, that would help, wouldn't it? What am I doing there? Let's put it there, shall we? BW Scores. Yeah, you've definitely had it there, haven't you? The Hammers. Oh, if I put it on the screen would help as well. It's all going up the wall here. Right, Phil, you're going to have to tell me, is that on the screen there? Can you read it?
Not all of it's on the screen.
That's a no. Right, okay. Give me a second. See, technology's been a nightmare today. I know I should have done this. But anyway, what I was trying to grasp is, there we go. I think nearly. BW Scores, anyway. it does read the Hammers front of shirt branding will look a little bit different for our UEFA Europa League match day 5 clash against Bacca Topola. It still won't let me move over. A BW Scores logo will replace the normal Betway logo for this fixture. It's a free-to-play global live scores website and app, which is the go-to destination for sports-related content, including real-time. Yeah, okay. So basically, we've got a new sponsor just for this game, though. In terms of team news, Antonio isn't there, Bowen isn't there, and we now know through sources that Kudus won't be there as well, and there's loads of information about TSC that I'm not going to read out because that's boring. And there we go. Well done to the West Ham website. That's good. Very informative information. So three key players aren't going to travel or haven't travelled, as we said, Phil Kudus, Antonio, and Bowen. Moyes has got to use his squad. If there's any game to use his squad, this is it. And it's going to be interesting because I think what he's done in the past is he's changed it, but he's changed it too much. He's made too many changes, so nobody's got a clue who each other are, and it's like we've just plunked 11 geezers on the pitch and tried to play football, and they just don't work. He's got to incorporate some sort of structure into this side where there's a bit of the first team and a bit of the squad rotation, just to sort of ensure that we've got the stability there to beat this side. Because at home, you never know, different kettle of fish. Who knows, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's been planning that throughout this week of training. He's got his team he has in mind. Hopefully he's got them all working together as a team so they know how everyone works. So that's what you'd like to think, but it's hard to say if he really has done that or not. I mean, you're going to have players, obviously we're now squad players, who would have been first team regulars 2 years ago when we had to play like every single player for every single game. So they should still know each other, really. But as long as it's the right players and they're fully fit, there's no reason why we can't go out there and get a result.
100%. Oh, 100%. This is an interesting question. Who will start in goal and who will start up front? Fabianski and Mubama is what I think will happen. Actually,
that, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't often try and get into David Moyes' mind because I think it's a really dark place to be honest with you. But surely Divine Mubama must play this game.
Yeah, he's got to. I think he is. Definitely is. There'll be uproar if Danny Ings starts.
Oh, I don't think I'll watch it if Danny Ings starts, to be honest with you. I genuinely don't think I can put myself through that again, to be honest. Another player that I think probably should be involved with the absence of Bowen and Kudus, it's probably Maxwell Cornet, a player that has not had any game time, and we've spoke about him at length in the last week because we played his former club Burnley, so we came up in conversation a bit more, which is expected. And for this game, with those two not going to be involved, surely he's got to start from the get-go. You'd like to think, Phil?
Oh, I'd love to think that. I think we spoke about him more times in length than actual minutes he's played throughout the course of this season. He's a good player. He's had that weird injury from last year, and he's never really been the same. We've barely seen him, and when he does come on, he's only got like a 3-minute cameo. And he's really ineffective that way. So look, he's got pace to burn. He's got a lot of experience. So why can't we just use him for this game? It's something different as well. Even risking playing up front because he's played up front before for Lyon in the past.
Yeah, exactly. He's got some fluctuation in his game. He's got some, I can't think of the word. That's going to really annoy me now. Adaptation, that's not the word. Anyway, let's move on. He's got, he can play in various different positions. Somebody will put in the chat the words. I can't.
Versatile.
That's it. Versatility. There we go.
Versatility.
He's got, his game is versatile. He can play on each wing. He can play century. He can play up front. He's got various different positions that he can deploy, and hopefully Moyes puts in there. Players like Fornals probably should be getting a game. Maybe Tilo Kehrer. Sifa's been a little bit off it as of late, so maybe bring Tilo Kehrer in for a game. Mavropanos, I'd expect to be in there. Just have a mix. Probably a couple of the first teamers in midfield. Maybe have Paqueta and Alvarez in midfield with another one, or Souček and another one. who it is, just doesn't really matter as long as we've got some quality in there. And then I think there'll be a mix of first team and bench players to just fill the rest of the gaps, and hopefully that should be enough.
Yeah, I think they're decent players who can do a job. I mean, you've almost named it, really, the team. You sort of forget about Tilo Kehrer.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like the forgotten man. So, put him as right back.
Especially because he ended last season really, really well, and he hasn't had a sniff at all.
I know, yeah. He's... I mean, I don't know what the situation is with him, whether he'll leave in January or not, but at least keep him for the season.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you've all got a good memory, you cast your minds back to last year. I was his biggest critic for the majority of the season. I thought he was absolutely awful. But for the last few months and, towards the back end of the season, he really did improve. Since last January, he improved, and he had a couple of games in the side, and in the lead up to the Conference League final, we played a couple of games, and he looked to be building some confidence. And then sort of the end of the season probably came at the wrong time for him, because it was sort of forgotten by everyone, and then he hasn't had a sniff since, which is a little bit unfortunate. But games like this are made for these players. That's it. That is it. Yeah. Right. Let's take some more of your comments. Any score predictions? Try BW scores. Exactly. They'll be on the shirt tomorrow. Did I tell you BW scores? I don't even know who they are. Never heard of it. But it will be on the shirt tomorrow.
And we'll forget all about it by Friday morning.
Exactly. We'll probably forget about the game by Friday morning, because I'm expecting a bore fest, to be honest with you. But yeah, I saw this under-21s drew last night against Lyon 1-1. Earthy scored a late equaliser. Yeah, Lyon scored late on to open the scoring, but then we got an even later equaliser through Earthy. This under-21s team, they don't like losing, do they? Well, no team likes losing, but they never seem to go down without a fight. And listen, I don't know how good Lyon's development team are, but they gave us a tough game. And I mean, we've got Southampton in the FA Youth Cup third round in the next couple of weeks, I think. So our title defence has started on that front. Hopefully, Phil will go all the way again, and they can put another game at the London Stadium, and we can go and fill out an away end somewhere and win it all again.
Oh, yes, especially that Southampton one that we went to.
Yeah.
That was a 6-1, I think.
6-1, wasn't it? Yeah, it was crazy.
I think it was, yeah.
Don't say that was the highlight, Phil. I know I wasn't there. I know I wasn't allowed to go to the Arsenal game. You can say that was the highlight of your Youth Cup campaign. I don't mind. It's just because I wasn't invited. You were. I don't care. But...
I had your ticket.
Yeah, you did. You did. Because I was supposed to be revising for exams. No, I was sat down there watching on the TV.
No. Yeah, it was a good night, that was.
It looked brilliant. It looked brilliant from the comfort of my sofa. To be fair, I went to bed about 10 to 10, and by the time Mum and Dad got home, I think it was about 2 a.m. So I didn't mind that part of it, but no, we digressed there. Well, I digressed, but yeah, hopefully the under-21s can continue their rich vein of form from last season. Let's have a look here. I reckon Fabianski will start in goal, and Mubama will start up front, hopefully. If Cornet gets no game time in this game, then he's definitely off in January. Any youth players travel with the squad? Obviously, I'd expect Mubama. Maybe a couple of others wouldn't be amiss as well, with 3 key first teamers out. Maybe Marshall and a couple of others could travel. Don't know. We'll see tomorrow. Lee, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Divine needs to start ends off. Yeah, bang on, Terry. That's it. That is it. Jake using big words. What big words did I use? I'm trying to expand my vocabulary. I'm taking A-level English, so I've got to expand my vocabulary a little bit. But yeah.
I apologise to listen. Yeah, just listen to Simon Jordan on the TalkSport. That will extend your vocab.
It's encourage your convictions, as whatever he said. Honestly, yeah, he does use some big words. The most West Ham thing ever. 25% possession, 1-0 West Ham. Suchek 94 minutes. We know what we are. We know what we are. Champions of Europe. We know what we are. P-Gads, I put Suchek in at striker, had Paqueta and Alvarez bully the midfield. It's going to be a pretty boring game, so that would jazz things up a bit. That would put a smile on all of our faces. Chuck Fellaini, Suchek up front.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Throw a spanner in the works.
Nobody will be watching it anyway. Everyone will be watching Liverpool as a neutral, so why not? Just go for it. A bit worried if we play Oggy after his last game against them. I'd expect Ogbonna and Mavropanos, to be honest with you. Does that fear you, Phil?
That
doesn't fill me with any confidence.
I don't know. He's not I know, Ogbonna, I think we know that this is the end of him now. And I think he has done a couple of mistakes when he has played this season. So he probably will play, but I don't know. I think his power's gone now, which is a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was okay at the start of the season. Then some mistakes started to drip into his game, and unfortunately, he hasn't been fantastic. I think age probably caught up with him to an extent, but I'd probably expect him to start this game. Somebody's mentioned the Christmas bash, so it's ignited a picture, and I want everyone's thoughts on this. So this was. They went for their Christmas booze up, the whole team and the backroom staff and all the rest of it. Somebody mentioned it here. There you go. Peter says players went out for their Christmas bash at the weekend. So they went for their P-up, their celebration, their party, whatever you want to call it. I want everyone to rate out of 10 this jacket that's being worn by David Moyes.
Right.
Oh, if I press the button would help, wouldn't it? Right, let's see if it works this time. I'm going to put it there instead. Right, I'm going to zoom in. The state of that. What is that jacket?
Is that leather?
I don't know. Many people back Moyes, but I mean, there's no back in that. I'm gonna give you a bit more zoom. There is absolutely no back in that, is there, Phil?
That's more like something Mick Jagger might wear, I think.
It's just dreadful, isn't it? Utterly
dreadful. I'm
sorry.
I mean, if I was the fashion police, then
some cuffs would be coming out. Antonio didn't dress up as a snowman again, did he? I don't know. Is there a picture of Antonio on it? There's a picture of Souček.
Let's see what he's wearing.
Karen Brady, Sullivan.
Oh my God! Go back to Sullivan quickly. Let's see.
Look at him there.
What's that? It's Michael Jackson. He wore something like that, didn't he?
There he is in all his glory.
Wow.
Right. There we go. Let me put the screen back. There we go. There we go. See, we've digressed again. Phil, this is your fault, not mine.
That's right. And we're comfortable with our jumpers that we're wearing.
Yeah, not that green thing. That was horrible. Can see TSC coming at us from the off. Try saying that after a few, Peter. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, away from home, they tried to get the point, or tried to, when they got their lead, park the bus, and they wanted to get anything they could out of the game. Would you expect a different approach away from? Would you expect a different approach at home from this Backa Topola side, Phil? You'd expect a slight shift.
Yeah. I mean, they've got their home fans there, so they want to try and do something for them, but it's going to be their conditions as well. The pitch, I don't know what the state of that is, whether it's like all muddy and everything, that could play a part in it. But it's hard to say, really. I mean, they might give it a go for the first 5 minutes if they're kicking off, but we just have to see how the game goes ahead, really.
Yeah, we'll see.
Either way.
We will see. Right, let's have a look at some of your amusing comments about the Moyes dress code. Phil, were you like styling your hair whilst you're here, just to sort of,
No, I had a bath not that long ago, and I've washed my hair, and it's all puffed up. I'm trying to see. This is like my real hair now.
Oh,
you know
right.
what? I might have to. It's getting there. Going old school.
You have to tie it up again. Oh,
we're going back.
Are
in
you
the
actually?
Days.
Those were the lockdown days. They were.
Yeah, it's only a little one, but it's just for the time being. While otherwise it looks really bad. Yeah, you won't even notice it's there.
Yeah. We'll let Phil sort that out. There we go. Fancy dress. Moyes got dressed in the dark. Sharky doesn't mind it. He looks all right in it. 6 out of 10. He nicked it off of a small child by the looks of it. Shrunk in the rain. Sullivan is a small child. Looks bad, doesn't he? Sullivan had surgery like. If he has, it hasn't done him much good.
Oh no.
That is the biggest insult I have had all day. Ooh. My clothes look nothing like that jacket. It was an absolute abomination to the earth. It probably cost like 300 quid as well. Honestly, ridiculous. Knowing Moyes, to be fair, he probably got it in Primark. He's quite a tight bloke, isn't he? I can't
The
imagine
charity
him
shop.
spending a lot of money, or the charity shop. Yeah, you could just imagine him rocking into a charity shop, can't you?
I can
Was
see that,
Moyes
yeah.
part of the waiting staff? Probably.
Valet parking.
Is their pitch like a park stand? We can't afford injuries. That's a good point. Yeah, we'll have to watch out for the bobble and the potential injuries that possesses. We usually have a little wander around the ground the night before, so hopefully today they've had a sort of feel for it and could know what to expect for tomorrow. That's another sort of element of playing away from home at a lesser club. That's what it is. You know, it's on their terms. It's their pitch. They know it better than anyone. And we're away from home. You know, if they make an atmosphere in their 5,000 stadium, Phil, fair play to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will make they'll make some sort of noise. A lot of these European teams, they're like that. No matter how big or how small their crowd is, they're always going to get behind their team when they're playing at home.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, I've just seen a video of Manchester United fans going into the away end at Galatasaray, and it's a literal flood. like the concourse bit going in, it's all flooded. Somebody's put on Twitter, this is a joke. And this is a Man United fan, this is a joke. Yeah. We don't treat away fans like this, so why should we put up with it?
Well, they're just getting used to what Old Trafford's like, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Old Trafford is falling down. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting ready for the 3rd of February when we go. I'm just getting ready because I love that song. It's brilliant. Peter, come on, let's keep it civilized. Come on, let's keep it civilized. Is it true that Antonio, Bowen and Kudus haven't travelled? Christ, we will get thumped. Yeah, they haven't travelled. And no, we won't get thumped, Helen. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think we've got enough in the bag. I think we've got enough there. This will be one of TSC's biggest games ever. They'll be up for it, 100%. They bought 30 fans with them the other week. So, if they can bring, if they can fill up their stadium, 5,000 close in, packed in, who knows? Who knows? But the overriding quality of this side should shine through whoever's playing, to be honest with you. And Phil, I'm now going to ask you for your prediction.
Right, I think the prediction-wise, it's hard to say because we can either start really well for the first 5 minutes and drop off until half-time and then pick it back up in the second half, or we can just be sliding lethargic for the first 20 minutes and then pick it up. So it's hard to say, but I'd like to say 3-0. I think we'll get a goal in the first half, maybe just before half-time, and then maybe 2 late goals close together towards the end, which would be good. And I'd like to think, a good motivation is to see how Olympiacos fare against Freiburg, because we really need them to give us a favour. We win, Olympiacos win, we go on top. We got the advantage coming into the last game against Freiburg.
100%. 100%. Let's hold the cards in that game and let's dictate things, and that's what we should do. Players like Benrahma, Cornet, Kera, Ogbon and Mavropanos should all get games. Let's rest some players because our schedule is absolutely crazy. I don't even want to think about it because of how bad it is. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 7 Premier League games in December. We've got a Carabao Cup tie. We've got another European tie. We've got 9 games in 31 days. I mean, how many is that? 31 divided by 9. That's ridiculous. It's a game every 3 days. I mean, it's complete and utter lunacy, and we've just got to get on with it.
Yeah,
we are fighting on 3 fronts at the moment. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but Moyes has got to be smart about this. This is where he's got to earn his money, and I don't think this is going to be pretty whatsoever. I think it's going to be incredibly boring, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 West Ham win. Souček from a corner. In the first half and see it out and take the key players off in the second half and see it out because we've got enough quality there. There's no doubt about it. They did cause us some problems last time, but we should be beating them. There's no doubt about it. An edgy, scrappy, not very nice to watch. 1-0 win will do the job. No injuries, no illnesses, no jet lag. And let's move on to a game again that we should be winning on Sunday against Crystal Palace at home. Let's take some of your predictions. A 2-1 win. I says, Dad, a 3-1. Benny to score 2 out of his 12 shots. Terry reckons it's going to be crazy. 4-2 to us. It's going to be mental. 320 fans going crazy as we purr like a Rolls Royce. I tell you what, through the good old town where I live today, I was walking to school, Phil. And coming down the road, this is very rare. Coming down the road in a nice royal blue colour was an Aston Martin.
Ooh.
And it was nice as well. I mean, I'm not a car geek, but it was really clean, a nice royal blue Aston Martin, personalised number plate. And I looked at it as it went past and went, that is a nice car. But yeah, you learn something new every day when you're with me, don't you? You didn't need to know that, but you now know it. Terry's mention of a Rolls Royce just sprung into my mind. 3-0 says Sharky. 5-1 says Fresh Fielder. Very good. Very good indeed. Benny is frightened to shoot at goal. All he does is pass or get dispossessed. Or my favourite is when he gets the ball, he cuts inside and then he overhits the cross and it goes out for a goal kick over the other side. That's my favourite Benny move.
Yeah, or when he does have a shot on target, there's no power at all.
It's a P-roller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every single time. TSC have scored a lot of early goals this season. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow. Spurs game has been changed to Thursday because of Premier. Thursday, the 7th of December at 8:15. So I'm going to have to... What?
I'm working that evening as well on Liverpool Street Station.
Liverpool Street's gonna be packed with West Ham fans because that's where they change, isn't it? Yeah, Liverpool
well, it's not just that. It's just because I know what it's like when Spurs play, or even when there's any event going on at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is so packed, and I'm going to be working on the specific platforms where the trains are, like the London Overgrounds up to White Hart Lane.
You'll have a fun night then. Just get involved.
It was bad. I'll tell you a quick story, right?
Go on.
I was working on a certain platform where those trains are. It wasn't Tottenham playing. It was a Beyonce concert at the Tottenham Stadium, and it's funny because it was also an ASLEF strike day, so the train driver strike. So at the other end of the station, where there's not many trains running, and I'm down there with busy overground train because they still had a normal service, and I completely forgot about the strike. It was so busy of people watching this Beyonce concert, and you had to change all the gates around. People had to go through a different platform. It was really unorganised, and I hated it. And
it sounds like a nightmare, Phil. Your nightmare, not my nightmare.
It's my worst nightmare, honestly. I've had to deal with it a few times over the last year and a half.
Oh dear, there we go. There you go. The struggles of Liverpool Street Station, eh? Terry says, my missus works for Rolls Royce, so had to get some advertising in for her. Is she watching, Phil? Is she watching, Terry? Oh, we'll have to be on our best behaviour. Good evening to Terry's better half. Hope you are well.
Phantom, please.
Brownie points. Terry, have you got permission for Liverpool away? Because we'll be at your place nice and early. I have permission for anything and everything, Rich. Well, should we test that, Terry? Should we test that? She's off to Dubai on Saturday. Who bumped her up to business? You didn't bump her up to business, Terry, you little romance. You little devil. Bumped her up to business. What are you like? What are you like? Well, I'm expecting the red carpet rolled out on the 20th of December. Then, if we're bumping up a business, Terry, I'm expecting some big things, some new little add-ons to the car when we go to Liverpool. I've done to business. I can't believe that. How good of you, Terry. How good of you. Right, anyway, thank you very much indeed, everybody, for watching. This has been our match preview for TSC versus West Ham United. Phil, give us some final thoughts.
Going to be a very cold, bleak night over in Serbia. So there's fans out there, hard-earned money to go over there, support the team. So go out there, give a performance, please. And then it's a good thing it's an early kickoff over here for us. So then at least we can relax at night time.
For sure. They left London about 3:00 yesterday today, so they've now arrived and checked in over in Baku Topola, ready for tomorrow night's game. And look, let's just get the win. Let's get the win. Hit the like button and subscribe channel. Become a channel member if you'd like to support the channel further as well. Peter says, give the new Lineker a like. Oh, thank you. Are you talking about me or Phil?
My ears aren't that big.
Thank you. Well, I know you're not referencing my ears, but the reason I do this, I've had loads of people talk to me about this because I have this headphone in so I can hear you. I don't have this one because the trouble is, if I have that one in, I can't hear myself, so I get increasingly louder because I can't hear myself, and I'm probably getting louder.
That happens all the time. It's a natural thing because it's to do with your ears and the sound. I used to do it in school and I had the headphones in for music.
Absolutely. So if I sit here like this, I just get naturally louder. So no one wants to hear that. So I can just hear myself now with that. See, you learn something new here on West Ham Official every single day. I'll join you at 4:30 tomorrow for the build-up show, so I'm gonna have to get on here quite quickly. The things I do for you, honestly. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow for an early match build-up show. So yeah, clock off a bit early from work, get yourself here and get yourself in the chat watching us live. Hit the notification bell so you'll be ping notified whenever we do go live tomorrow evening as well. And we'll have a reaction after the game straight after as well, hopefully talking about a West Ham win. Better not to hear yourself, Jay. I know what you mean, but honestly, if I sit here like this, it drives me crazy because I have to hear what I'm saying. It's just, yeah. Anyway, Phil, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you, Jake. It's always a pleasure, you say.
Come on, you are. And some final couple of comments. Jack says we need to top the Europa League group so that we don't play a team that drops out of the Champions League. 100%. I echo that wholeheartedly. So we need to win. And Eric, thank you very much for joining us at the end as well. If you'd like to go back and watch it, you can. Just got in and you're finishing. I apologise, Eric. I apologise. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody. From me and Phil, I believe Phil's holding his phone, so he can just do that. But I'm going to go. Come on, you Irons. Oh, I see. He's got himself a setup. Look, come on, you Irons. And we will see you right here on West Ham. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.